Okay, Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone's again another one that's a little bit hard to assess. His form's quite good in Europe. He's had a bit of an interrupted preparation over here. Some injury cloud over the horse, but he's been past fit to run. Don't like that though for a horse. Has drawn awkwardly in barrier 12. I see him having quite a hard run in the race, and I don't see him figuring the finish.
Yeah, look, you're right. He's been in the papers for all the wrong reasons leading in, and his jockey also, he's going to be reprimanded
Very
for some
outspoken, the trainer and the jockey.
Yeah, but just going through his form, some of his runs have been terrific, absolutely outstanding. But last start in the St. Leger behind Septimus, he was beaten 54 lengths. But before that, he ran third to All the Good, beaten 5, giving All the Good 4.5 kilos. So there's some form references there that suggest that he may surprise and run a nice race. But again, I don't find him in my top 4 or 5 selections. Zipping.
I'd love to see Zipping win this race. I love the horse. I think he's a really underrated horse, and he's always just found a couple better than him, but has raced at the top level. He's run 4th twice in this race. Unfortunately, he's drawn a bad barrier.
He drew barrier 20 last year, mate, and he ran 4th.
Yeah, I think what it does though, we saw in the Cox Plate that this horse can actually be ridden a little bit closer and be competitive. With the barrier 16, he is going to have to go back. He's going to have to give them a big start, and I just feel that's going to be his undoing.
Can I just point out one thing, Suman? Sorry to interrupt. He's run 2 4ths in consecutive years. Last year he drew, as I just said, barrier 20 of 21. The previous year when he ran 4th to Delta Blues Pop Rock, he drew barrier 19 of 23. So this is the best draw he's had.
Still not a good draw.
But that day where he drew 19, he was second by the time they left the turn. He ran second outside the speed that day. So he can go forward if they want him. But I do feel he's settling a lot better these days, and I don't mind him.
I'd love to see that horse win. Trust me, even if he's not in my selections, I'd love to see that horse win, because he's a horse that deserves a big race win. He is settling a lot better, and probably in the best form of his career. But I still think he's going to find a couple that are a bit better than him. 54 is not a bad handicap, but
it's a good handicap for a horse.
I could see him running 4th again, which would be unfortunate. But I could see him running thereabouts, but not being right in the finish.
I'm going to put him in my top 4. I do like the horse. Yeah, well, he may win. It's not going to surprise me. He is settling a lot better than he has in his previous campaigns. They're training him a lot differently. So I find him a top 4 selection. I'm not so concerned about the barrier with him. Next, we've got Mad Rush.
Mad Rush is a horse that was the run of the race in the Caulfield Cup. If not, it was it and Nom de Jour.
Equal as good, yeah.
Equally as good. He's a horse that's only unplaced once in his 9 starts, and that was in the Caulfield Cup when he ran 4th, and was unlucky. Very good trainer, Luca Kamani, who's just very switched on, has the horse primed for this. Top jockey, Damien Oliver, who's in very good form, and is rubbed out for the rest of the carnival, so it's all or nothing for him. And has drawn very nicely in barrier 4, so he'll probably have him a little bit more forward than he will have him more forward than last time where he was out the back. His form in Europe pales into insignificance when compared to horses like Septimus, but we're racing here and we can only worry about here, and he's shown he's got good form here. He's come here in good spirits. He's not an overly big horse, which could be a negative for him if he gets buffeted a little bit.
Yeah, but he's damaged by saddle as well, and that's probably where that comes into play. But
well, look,
he's going to stay though, isn't he?
I think he will stay. He's not proven at the 3,200 metres, so there's that query. But I think the likelihood is he will stay. He's my clear second pick for the race, and I think he'll be fighting out the finish with Nom de Jour.
He's actually my first selection. I do like Mad Rush. I've really warmed to him. Brilliant barrier in barrier 4. They can dictate what they want to do. If they go quick early, they can grab a hold of him. If it's leisurely run at the start, they can put him right in a box seat. So, and he's running the Cox Plate. You've said it all, was outstanding. Oliver's on him. What else do you want? To me, he ticks all the boxes. Same as Nom de Jour.
Yeah, I agree.
He ticks all the boxes.
They're going to find it out, I think.
They both have to be in everyone's selections. Okay, we're no genius at selecting these horses, but I can't see it any other way. They're just both ticking every box, and they're they're going to be very difficult to roll. So I do like Mad Rush. He's all the party goers out there. Mad Rush, the name says it all. Ice Chariot.
Ice Chariot for mine is one of the best roughies in the field. He's come back this campaign in really good form. He's been thereabouts in all of his races.
Best form of his career, mate.
Yeah, really good form. I mean, he even ran a cheeky race in the McKinnon and weight for age level, 2,000 metres. I can see this horse figuring. I think that in any of your multiples, please include this horse, because he could run a third. He could do a Magnolia Hall or an Impala and
Lahar or something.
A Lahar, a Zaza
Yeah.
Bell. You never see him again, but he runs his third, and I could see him. He's in good form. The barrier's a problem. He's going to get back. He'll have to get back. If he goes forward, he'll be too deep, and that's a shame, because had the horse drawn well, I think he would have been really a much better chance. But definitely one to include in multiples.
And he won a 3200 Queen's Cup previously, so we know he can run a distance.
Yeah, and by semi-palatine
semi-palatine,
he'll stay.
Not a problem at all. I agree. He is a bolter's chance of jagging a place. I can't see him winning though.
Yeah.
Bart Cummings' first horse there. View.
Look, I did say in the earlier review to forget his run in the McKinnon. He's not one of my horses. A lot of people like the horse because he keeps running on. He's got the Bart Cummings polish. Being trained by Bart Cummings, he's going to be under the odds on the day, because anything trained by Bart Cummings is always under the odds on the day, so you're not going to get value. I'm prepared to go around him.
Yeah, my early thoughts with him were too that he might develop into a really nice Cups horse for Bart, but he did miss a run in between, didn't he? Going into the Caulfield Cup, so he's always been a run behind, and I didn't think although they went slow in the McKinnon, I thought he was a little bit disappointing, mate. So I probably dropped off youth myself. It would be a huge surprise for me. Latoria.
Latoria, I was on him earlier in the carnival, and quite liked him for these sort of races going forward. But
Especially after he won the Turnbull.
After he won the Turnbull, I just think he's peaked already in this campaign, and he's on the downward slide now. I thought his effort on Saturday was hard to assess because he wasn't given every opportunity to win. He was too far back, and there was no pace. But I just think that there's better horses than him and better stayers than him. He's probably a little bit more brilliant than what we expected, and maybe up to 2,000 metres is more his go rather than these extreme distances, so I'm prepared to leave him out.
Yeah, his first 3 runs this campaign were outstanding, weren't they? All at weight for age, all over the sort of sprinting distance or mile distances, and winning the Turnbull. But you're right, I thought his effort in the Caulfield Cup was acceptable. He was only beaten two lengths, and going back to Flemington, you thought, well, maybe that'll suit him, but I'd sort of dropped off him a little bit after yesterday's effort.
Poor effort. He just didn't. He should have finished off better. Given the run that he had, because he did nothing. He was just bludging out the back, and even so, with a slow pace, he should have finished his race off better. They are making a gear change. I believe they're taking blinkers off, which can have dramatic effects as we've seen on horses. But I'm prepared to let him out.
Yeah, he's not in my top 4 or 5 either, mate.
He's out for me.
Okay, one of our favourites.
Braun,
Brewer, Brower,
otherwise
War, whatever.
He's known as Bauer, but in some places,
some circles.
Arvo circle, he's known as Braun.
Okay.
So what do you think of Braun?
No, not for me.
Yeah.
Not for me. I don't think he's as good as the other Europeans. Yellowstone beat him home 2 starts back, and I'm not really tipping Yellowstone. He was beaten 7 lengths by All the Good. I thought his Geelong Cup win was solid. Did beat Moatais, and Moatais came out yesterday and won the Saab. However, I'm not tipping Moatais either, mate. So I just think he's a little bit behind the other Europeans, and
I can't see him beating Mad Rush. I think they're the stable mates, and he gets 1.5 kilos from him, and I just think they're in a different class.
I agree.
So if I can't see him beating him, I certainly can't see him beating 4 or 5 others. So he might finish in the top 6 or 7, but I can't see him in the places.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to be surprised if he's run a cheeky 3rd or 4th,
Yeah.
even.
Yeah.
He kept on improving and sort of.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I
It's an
still
awkward
can't.
barrier too, though, Arvo. Like barrier 13.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. No.
I find those middle gates are the worst gates because they always end up 3 deep without
And another lead really is Oliver rode him in the Geelong Cup, and he's
dumped him for the other horse.
on Mad Rush. I mean,
Yeah.
they can make mistakes, but I not in this instance. I think. He's not in my top selections.
No, well, he's left with Corey Brown, who's got a top jockey, so Certainly, he's not losing nothing there,
No,
no.
no.
Corey. But no, I think again he'll finish in the first half of the field, but
I
he won't be
agree.
in the places.
Definitely the first half.